Hi everyone, this is Vivian with my spiritual GPS through Expansion Network. And last week we discussed about anger and how you can effectively process anger, frustration, and irritation. So please be sure to look back at the video that we had last week before you go to this particular segment on your heart. Why is that? So if imagine a little child full of joy, full of fun, full of laughter, innocence, and purity, right? That is a very good description when your heart is open. And then when you look at an adult, if you are a woman experiencing a lot of stress and overwhelm and anger, frustration, perhaps a lot of anxiety, is it safe to say that you may have experienced some unforgiveness, unworthiness, unlovability, the feeling of undeserving? Perhaps when you were a child, you have never been given specific tools to help you cope with all of these stresses that you've been experiencing. Is it possible that your heart actually shut down, closed up, and you didn't know what to do with it? Is it possible that you were actually bringing in all the different emotional energies of everyone around you because they don't know how to take care of that emotional energy? They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to feel it. They might have thought of it as a normal thing for them, a normal thing to have in the household. Perhaps they have distorted their own boundaries because they don't know what to do with it. And they felt like distorting it is a safe way for them to actually be surviving the incident. So there's a lot of distortions wherein our boundaries, we have this emotional boundary called this orange boundary where we feel emotions of other people. Unfortunately, if the household members that we have don't know anything about what to do with those emotions, and you are very empathic and you know exactly what to do with them, you think that taking them on would make them love you more. But if you look back, they probably don't love you any better just because you went upside down and you tried to conform with what they want you to do, right? So that is a pure distortion of your emotional boundary. And as a little child, we think it's safe to do that, to distort our own boundary. In other words, we were violated. So those are the initial wounds that we go through as a child. So then we think something is wrong with us and we have to fix ourselves. Perhaps if we are nicer, perhaps if we're better, perhaps if we have more achievement, perhaps if we have more accolades in our lives or maybe more money in our lives, that might actually work. If you look at it, it doesn't really work, does it? Even if you try so hard to work so hard to get ahead, even if you try to be nice to everyone, but you never put yourself first, unfortunately, it doesn't quite work for you or anyone else around you. The best solution here is to actually look inside of you and really ask yourself how you feel. Feeling is the one thing that you could do as a woman, and being honest with what you feel at the moment, right? Not from before, not lashing out because you did not process your emotions in the past. It's acknowledging what you're feeling at the moment, recognizing what it is. If you need to pause and tell them to stop talking to you or harassing you, that might be the best thing that you could do for yourself, but you need to stop and acknowledge what you're feeling. When you can be honest with yourself and really take care of yourself, this is what we call self-care, right? It's the self-care year, by the way. 2020 is a self-care year. You will realize how important it is for you to feel your own feelings and let other people know that it's not okay to hurt you, because you become your own parent. They forget to tell us that as we reach a certain age and we become independent, that we have to parent ourselves. We gotta parent ourselves. We've got to take care of how we feel, because nobody else is there for us. We have to take care of us, and we have to say enough is enough. When you take care of your own needs, you'll be surprised how generous you are, because the world is abundant, right? When you are taken care of, everything that comes out of you is just an overflow. That is really pure love at its best, because you are giving yourself your love. You're giving yourself the ability to really feel what it's like to be present in this body. So I want to share with you a technique today on really how to fill up your own heart. So remember, last week was about the liver. There is a reason for this madness, right? Because in Chinese medicine, the liver supports the heart, okay? So wood element, right? If we put enough pieces of firewood, it can create a fire. So a lot of times we just don't feel like we have fire in our lives because we don't have enough structure or substance, right? So we want to make sure our liver is working well so then our heart can function well. Right, so I want you to put your hand, you can put your left or right on your heart and then your other hand on your belly button. And you're going to take a deep breath, but this time you're going to breathe like this bright red energy that I am wearing right now. I want you to breathe that in your heart, okay? Take a deep breath in. And when you breathe out a lot of gold throughout your body. I want you to do this for the next 15 minutes, okay? So take a deep breath in. Breath brings you this present moment awareness. And if you're able to bring this energy of breath all the way up to the top of your head and the breathe out all the way down to the rest of your body, okay? So take a deep breath in, bright red, and then you breathe out gold. Breathe in red and breathe out gold. So as you're feeling this energy, I want you to feel the alignment of every single rib in your body, okay? So we have 12 ribs. As we work through the ribs, you're going to start to feel your own correction as if the ribs are falling into place. So we know that the heart, as we breathe in red, is very responsible for pumping blood throughout all the body parts that we have, right? And the heart is that biggest energy field. You can think, but this heart can reach so many millions of people out there. It doesn't matter how good you are in what you do. If your heart is closed, people won't feel you. You have to have an open heart for yourself, because as you open yourself to goodness and to love, you'll notice that the world gives it back to you. So go ahead, do that lovingly for yourself for 15 minutes. Breathe in red and breathe out gold. As you do this breathing, you're going to start to feel like your right and left side start to line up. So if your right side feels like it's too far forward, what's happening is you're always taking action before you even think and plan of what you're about to do, okay? So go ahead and breathe and really feel the balance between your right and left side. As you do this exercise, you'll be able to sense this love for yourself on both your masculine side and the feminine side. And remember, we worked on this in Sedona when we went on our retreat. So what I want to share with you again is another tool that would blow your mind. And I know that there's lots of labyrinth in the area, wherever you are in the different parts of the world. And this is how, when I have a question in my mind and I don't know the answer, because the universe always has your back, by the way. When you enter a labyrinth, it helps incorporate your right side of the brain and the left side of your brain. The right side of your brain is responsible for your emotions, and the left side is responsible for your logic. So when you enter, I want you to have one question in your mind right now. It could be about money, it could be about a relationship, and it could be about your health, right? Everything has an answer, and everything really has a root cause. And so you want to get to that so that you don't need to go through the process of trying to investigate what the problems are when the one cause is what will solve everything, okay? So I want you to see how this is done. So this is the labyrinth. Okay, so for example, I have a question in my mind that's really eating me up. It's not allowing me to sleep at night. What are those things, right? It could be related to a relationship issue that you may have, related to a money problem, perhaps your business, or it could be related to your own health. So perhaps you have a thyroid issue and you couldn't figure out, you've gone to so many doctors and nobody can figure out what's wrong with you. So you can ask questions like what is the best course of action for me to take, or give yourself like two choices and see what comes up. You can also think about, is it for my highest good to stay with this relationship or not? Okay? And if so, give me some kind of a timeline. All right. So let's say I work on a specific issue on my business. And so I can have that question in my mind. I'm going to meditate and I'm going to walk through the labyrinth. And I'm not going to force the answer. I'm going to think about massaging the earth with my feet, and the earth massages me back and gives me whatever answer I need in order for me to answer that specific question that I have right now. So go ahead and think about a question for you, and you're going to walk with me through the labyrinth. And when we end here, we're going to write down or journal what it is that we got as a message from the universe. So at the end, you go at the very end, right here. And then you meditate. Feels good. You know, this is where I say enjoy the process, because that's how it feels like. The journey itself in the beginning was hard until it felt like there's this sense of vulnerability when I almost fell. But then that's when I picked up my arms and I felt the fun of the ride. Like it was actually amazing to be with people supporting you in your journey. But that's when you allowed them to support you because you were vulnerable. So that's the message I got from my walk today. It was beautiful. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. And when you're most vulnerable, that's when you can actually be, because your heart's open at that time, that's when you can experience the love, the joy, the support of everyone around you. So thank you, everyone, for watching this show. And I hope you're learning as much as I am. So you can connect with me at uplevel2020.com, and we could do some beautiful group healing together so that you can feel what it's like to take yourself to the next level by releasing some of these issues that you may be having and bringing an upgrade to your chakras, to your own energetic boundaries, and to your own life and business. See you soon. All right, I would like to share a free gift with all of you, which is the 7 Secrets to Unleash Your Money Magnet. So if you go to uplevel2020.com/money magnet, your gift is waiting just for you. And you can apply those exercises immediately into your life so that you can unleash your own money magnet. See you soon.